science right there. Yoshi is silent. Oh, really? Okay. We should probably get to the part where our runners have just started.
I'll just try and talk really loudly.
This is always my least favourite bit of commentary, because everything happens in like 5 seconds. Right, so they've done their config, they have bought their first weapon, and now they're going to break the game.
Yeah, trying to explain that is really difficult.
That's why I left it to you.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen the run, they can't hear me. Anyone who hasn't seen the run,
yeah. If they can't hear you, that would probably be my cue to actually do it. Does anybody want an explanation of the equipment glitch, or should we just skip it today? It's always an option. Basically, by getting into two, what's the word for next to each other? Adjacents, that's the one. 2 adjacent menus at the same time by pressing the X and the right button at once, we can basically turn one item into another item and then get them on a slot that they're not meant to be on. So that is why we've now got one of the strongest armors in the game, like 5 seconds into the run.
Yeah, and it all works based on it's like the internal database, basically. It reads the same value, so it goes from one weapon to any armor slot, or one armor to any weapon slot. And so the hammer just becomes a knight's armor, because they have the same value for some reason.
Alternatively, you can go by the Kib explanation, which is just, it's magic!
They don't get magic. They don't get magic for a couple of rounds still, right?
Oh yeah, but equipment glitch magic, glitchy magic. So both runners got a really good start there, actually. That is the first bit of RNG, just trying to get up to the Chaos Shrine here to fight our first boss, who is Garland. Garland, that's the one.
Like, at some point, I plan on going through like most of the races in this tournament and finding who has like the most and least encounters in each area, because I'm pretty sure I've seen a 0 encounter Garland and a 9 encounter Garland so far.
Yeah, I had a fit of a crazy one earlier. It was something like 7. That was insane though. Both of them sub to, was that 220, sub to 30, 20, something insane. So it looks like we're going to be having some more 126s today, guys.
It is worth noting, like, Ray came into this tournament with fairly low expectations, I think. I think what he initially said was basically he wanted to get a couple of good runs in and maybe PB. And he did that in, like, his first race.
Yeah, good way to start. And meanwhile, Poorscythe is, he's been world record holder, he's done all the tournaments, he's one of the organisers, so we got kind of like an underdog situation here. And as you may have noticed, me and Yoshi are both British, and we love an underdog. So go Ray, it's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. Yep, that's what's happening.
Gotta make the comeback as well, right? You can't can't just have a 2-0. That's boring.
Yeah, no, it's boring. You've got to have 3 races.
Fair, unbiased commentary here, where we are both cheering for Ray.
Go Ray! I mean, it's not like anyone likes Poorscythe. It's not like he's really lovely and... No, everyone hates him. Boo, Poorscythe.
He's going to watch this back, and I'm just going to say nothing here.
So, yeah, we've already fought the final boss in his kind of like... Well, it's technically his final form. Because Chaos is 1,000 years old earlier, right? So that was actually the final boss's final form.
FF1 plot doesn't make much sense, and I think the less we talk about it, the better in general.
Basically, first 30 minutes of fetch quests, last 15 minutes, a time travel, and the less said about the middle, the better. So what everyone's doing over here, bearing in mind we've already got the most powerful staff in the game, we've got some of the most powerful armor in the game, we're just going to march over and completely destroy the next boss battle and steal their pirate ship.
Right, so we didn't mention the judgment staves earlier, which there are items that you can use from the menu. Most weapons are just you hit with it at the end. But the judgment staff is one that, if you use it from the menu, casts flare, which is, kind of broken at this stage of the game. But it also takes like 8 seconds, and we want to go fast, so that's not good.
Yeah, gotta love a speedrun where your most efficient option is an 8-second cast. Yeah, we're not going to be keeping that for we're going to get rid of it as quickly as we can, basically.
I don't actually know, but I assume both of these are on the Black Mage route.
I do not know. Which means that you are going to be having to do the majority of the commentary on what's actually happening, which you're already doing, so keep it up. I'm like the flavor commentator. I just start talking about, I don't know, Warrior of Light's pants and things.
You got the colour and the play-by-play, it's fine, like,
yeah.
Perfect.
So, yeah, Poorscythe has already nicked the pirate ship, which goes better for him than it does in FF5.
I mean, I don't want to say it right now until he lands, but...
Oh no, I just meant the stealing of the ship.
Was
very easy. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be one of those runs, isn't it?
Meanwhile, Ray doesn't even get out of, like, the port and he's got his purse.
Yeah. Oh jeez, that was really quick. Yeah, welcome to FF1, where you can be as good a speedrunner as you like, and it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, like, sea encounters are notoriously bad as well. Because
that shark ambush, 2 steps away.
The worst part was, like, so Ray could have got off the boat, like, a step earlier and avoided that shark. And it's just, like, those tiny moments where most of the time that one extra, like, tile doesn't matter. But when it does, it feels so bad.
Yeah, and like the ship goes so much faster, so it's completely understandable that he chose that because you hardly ever get sea encounters. But when you do, they choose to be on the last step. Poorscythe into the first dungeon of the game, which hopefully he won't get any encounters in because it's entirely possible.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable to get through here with nothing because it's the encounter rate is ridiculously low in here. On the other hand, it's possible to get like 6 encounters, including an ambush, get poisoned 4 times, and cry a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. That's what happened to me earlier.
I got the 4 encounters, but no poison.
I think I got paralocked. Maybe not hit. When I think I was just outside and got paralocked. Yeah, let's pretend that our earlier run didn't happen. Actually, no, let's pretend my earlier run didn't happen.
Yeah, I PB'd. I'm happy with mine.
Oh, we can now see what Ray's character names are. We were looking at the preview screen earlier, wondering what his character names were and why he has Biff and Wedge.
From now on, I want them to
There's probably a
always
story
just be
there.
Wedge.
Yes, Biff, always Biff. I really hope it was just a typo, and then he just kept it. Oh, Yoshi, they turned me down because you're too quiet.
I don't know
right.
what has happened. My mic has done this exactly once before, and I'm sorry, causing
Mine's
issues
done that before, just randomly being really quiet for no reason. Blame Discord. It's definitely Discord's fault.
I thought
Also,
Ray was
having a bit of a problem there. What'd you say, sorry?
I thought Ray was in the wrong room for a second there.
I think we've all done
Ray
that a few
just
times.
Attacked the demons.
Yes, that is an interesting choice of strat. Usually we'd just use the judgment stuff on them. I think maybe because there was 2 of them, he thought he could just kill them faster by attacking, but I think he forgot that he hasn't got the barbarian sword yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it's some strat I don't know.
Wait.
Oh no!
And then he's doing it again?
Oh no!
No, this might actually be intentional. Because there is the thing with...
Oh! Yeah, you need the AXP, don't you?
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is part of the Black Mage route thing where you have to be level 8 before you go to Elfheim. Or you can apply Thunder and Fire. And Ray actually did have it in one of his group stage races where he didn't hit level 8 and had to go through half the game basically not having those spells and just using stage for the encounters. And he was like, I had no idea how to save this. I just had to guess. And he was like, I made up my strats as I went. I had no idea what I was doing.
I was going to say, that's my route. That's what I normally do. So, yeah, good improv. I would have no idea how to do both routes.
It worked. He won that race, so... Ooh, Scythe taking a mage death on Astos.
Yeah, not great. Astos cast death, which does what you probably could expect it to do. Usually it hits the warrior or the thief, and sometimes it can miss. But sometimes he feels like being a little bit of a horrible person.
Yeah, it's actually really good if it hits the warrior here, which is a weird thing to be saying, where you're like, I really hope this boss kills my tank. But because of the experience boost for the mages and the thief, like, the warrior is here just for equipment. Like, the thief is the main damage dealer, the mages have their spells, the warrior just holds lots of things.
Yeah, if only we could get rid of him somehow, but we need him too much. So Ray's not too far behind, just got a little bit caught up with encounters and with that extra Pisca Demons. I haven't noticed Poorscythe's levels. Is he looking safe?
I guess so. He got the revival in against Astos. There are a decent number of demons, I think.
Also, we got some nice, healthy black mages. That's what I like to see.
I'm pretty sure both of their black mages already have more health than mine did in Ice Cavern earlier.
Yep, same. Anyone who doesn't know what's going on here, your black mage is your squishiest party member. You want him to have like over 250 health by the end of the game. Probably looking at these guys right now, that doesn't sound like too much of a big ask. Oh, it is. It is. So yeah, on Poorscythe's screen, buying some spells for his black mage. This is a route that I'm going to pretend to be familiar with. Oh, and then he can get gold needles while he's there. That's smart.
I actually got so lucky with that earlier. I got the Petrify in our race, but I got it during Ice Cavern when I wanted the warrior dead anyway, and it was on the warrior, so I was like, yeah, okay, this can stay. Just like my party's carrying around a statue with them.
That's a great mental image. You know, like people do little fan arts of like funny situations in game. That'd be great. Just this is our mascot, the big statue. Bannon, Biggs, Argus.
Biff.
I remember all the warrior names here. And Poorscythe made a very quick exit out there. Welcome to Matoya's Cave, with some of the best music in the game.
And some of the most infuriating RNG in the game.
Yeah, I've never been roomed, but it is a thing.
I have twice, but not the really bad one. Not the like doorway going out. For anyone who doesn't know, the brooms, basically their movement is pure RNG. They just move a tile every so often, and they can block your doorway.
You see the rooms that were just there, kind of hanging around, sort of thinking, shall we be bouncers and not let him leave?
Yeah, the worst part is if they're in the doorway when you're on the way out. So the one in the corridor can block the door. And that's annoying because you can't see it, so you just kind of like stood in the doorway like, wait, why can't I move?
Yeah.
But
Glitch!
if they block the way on the way out, you not only have to get them to move out of the doorway, they can move into it, so they have to move one square out, then they're still blocking it, and then they have to move another square away so you can get past them into the door. It's just infuriating.
Like the Lufenia priestesses, but more broomy. Yes, broomy is now a
little
word.
more broomy.
A little bit more broomy. I was going to try and make some kind of pun about that they're much cleaner, but then I gave up and just said broomy.
Right, so Scythe picking up Mystic Key here. This just opens up a whole bunch of doors. That's pretty much it. Like, I think there's some in, like, Astos' castle and stuff as well, but we care about the ones in the Elven Castle and in Cornelia Castle, and that's it.
We don't care about the prince whose life we just saved. He gave us stuff, and that'll do.
And so we're going to go loot him for more stuff.
Yeah, he just came out of a coma, which we gave him the tonics to get him out of the coma. So now we can just take his stuff, right? Also, with the speedy menus as usual.
Scythe menuing is absurd.
We have just commentated cursed him though. He is now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What is this Sage's stuff thing that just happened? Because I don't speak New Root.
Right. So the fastest way to do this menuing, you equip the Sage's staff from the warrior gloves to the 2 adjacent characters. But you don't actually want your thief to have a staff. When you get to Melmond, you equip the barbarian sword, and the way the menu works out is it's best to equip the barbarian sword to the thief, then unequip it immediately, give the Sage's staff that you've just removed to your black mage, who isn't adjacent to the warrior, so they didn't get it from the glitch. Then equip the barbarian sword to the warrior, and then give a new one to the thief. It works out that the best way to menu all of this equipment is to give your thief a staff for, like, one area. Scythe should be fine running from that now, right? Mentioned earlier that sea encounters are notoriously difficult to run away from, but they've got... Every character has 3 thieves' armlets now, so it shouldn't be as bad. Okay. Oh, also, one thing we didn't touch on earlier, where we mentioned the armor that gets picked up early, the knight's armor, that's just a really good defensive tool early in the game and whatever. It also is really expensive, so now that they get unequipped for thieves' armlets, we're going to end up selling all of those, and that's pretty much all of the money you'll ever need for the rest of the run. Kib has briefly lost internet. Stuck with me for a bit until she gets back. So Scythe's going to just set off some explosives. It's fine. It's just change the landscape a little bit. Never hurt anyone. Ray not too far behind though. He just basically has to get to Mount Dwelgar and go from there. That cutscene actually genuinely confuses me. Like, you legitimately hand a dwarf some TNT, and he blows up, like, half a mountain. Oh, Scythe getting blocked off by some dwarves there as well. Like, the NPCs in this game can be really infuriating in so many ways. Like, the brooms are just one. The dwarves normally aren't too bad, but they can be. Bats are a really annoying one. We'll see some bats coming up soon. Oh, Scythe's doing puzzles! Okay, we have to explain puzzles. So there's a puzzle minigame you can do from the ship. It takes roughly 30 to 40 seconds. You have to get a time between 30 seconds and a minute, but it takes a little bit of time to get into the minigame. And there's a 1 in 6 chance that you get an emergency exit that lets you immediately warp out of a dungeon. And if you get this, it saves you 2 to 2.5 minutes, depending on encounters. Scythe didn't get it. I don't have to explain what an emergency exit does anymore. Unless he goes for it again. I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. I blinked and I missed the menu. Scythe's menuing is absurd.
Am I back?
You are.
Hi guys! My internet is a little bit angry tonight. Sorry about that. What have I missed?
Scythe did a puzzle.
Oh no, he did not.
Did a puzzle, did not get it, did not get anything from
it. No, he did not! Have you explained to the lovely people out there how stupid people are if they do puzzle?
I explained that it was a 1 in 6, and then by that time I was starting to explain what the emergency exit was, and then I saw that Scythe didn't have it, so it's like, oh, whatever.
And then you just summarize as, you can do this 1 in 6 thing that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, you don't tend to see it in races unless you're Raeanus, who does it in every race ever.
Do you think Leo put him up to it?
Like, Leo is the person who dragged me into this community, and so it's great because my first experience of racing was watching someone do a puzzle, and I was like, what on earth does this do? I've never seen this.
So yeah, in I think some of the other runs, and I only know about GBA, but I think probably some of the others as well, you actually do have to do the 15 puzzle. It's necessary for you to have enough money and stuff to get through the game.
I'm never running GBA.
I actually love 15 puzzle. I don't love having to do it fast.
Yeah, I tried getting good at it, and no, I was just bad.
I tried to do Nikki's GBA route, which requires you to get, I think it's 5 consecutive 15 puzzles under 30 seconds. It's not very fun. I wasn't very good at it.
Oh, that was the blink and you'll miss it vampire fight.
Oh yeah, that was a boss fight.
Yeah.
Enjoy, guys. High octane content here on FF1 PSP.
To be fair, I think that is like the only like actual boss that is completely trivialized. There's a lot of like mini bosses and stuff. Like, I guess Kraken and Marilith aren't too bad, but
I will remind you that Lich only takes 2 hits to kill.
Okay, but Lich can still murder you.
He can, but you can murder him back.
It's actually crazy to me that like all of the boss fights in this run and the 2 most threatening boss fights are the 2 Lich fights.
Yeah. He's a meanie. But yeah, boss fights in this game aren't actually really the threat. It's all your random encounters in between.
Right, talking of which, unrunnable encounters. This is our first experience with those. We fought these demons earlier as a mini-boss. You couldn't run away from them. Turns out you still can't. It's the same encounter, so you can't run away from that. Which is really weird, because you can run away from vampires when you see them later.
You can't run away if it's only one vampire. Because it's coded
really?
into the game as a boss battle. Yep. Or at least there's a chance that it can be. I don't think it's always coded as a boss battle, but yeah, if you see one, you're going to have problems running away.
My favourite thing with that, like, if people haven't caught on by now, FF1's coding is questionable at best. My favourite example is always the Hellhounds and Ogre Mages.
Yeah, they're always good.
Where in Mount Gold you can get an encounter that is just Hellhounds or just Ogre Mages. And if you get them together, you can't run away. But sometimes you'll get like 2 Hellhounds, and in the game's code it will read it as 2 Hellhounds and 0 Ogre Mages. And that means it's an encounter with both enemies, because it has both of them in the code. Even though there's 0 of one of them, you can't run away because they're both there.
So you happily just try and run away for one turn, it doesn't work, you go, oh, that must have been weird. You try and run away for another turn, you go, oh, right. Just FF1 being FF1. So yeah, this is the happy bit of the game where we go to the 3rd floor of the Cavern of Earth, kill the boss, and then basically, if we went a little bit further ahead, it would go, ha ha, you can't get through here. You need to go all the way out again, get this other random item that you will never be able to use for anything else, and come back here. So that's what Poorscythe is doing right now, via a big golem dude who likes to eat rubies. So we brought him a ruby.
The first run I ever did of this game, I forgot to pick up a ruby.
We've all done that too. It's like a rite of passage for getting the Star Ruby.
Right, getting everyone paralysed on the way to Marsh Cave, forgetting the ruby.
Forgetting the crown.
This is worth noting. This escape that Ray is doing now, that Scythe did like a minute ago, this is where you would use the emergency exit if you got it during the puzzle. Just
saves you a minute minimum, probably.
Yeah, I think I've been told it was like, it saves 2 to 2.5 minutes, or it cuts out 2 to 2.5 minutes, but it takes you like 40 seconds to get it, so it usually saves about 1.5 minutes.
Of course, we've seen it multiple times that someone has done the puzzle in a race, has actually got the emergency exit, and then their opponent got like a super speedy exit anyway, and they didn't actually save very much time anyway. And this is why, my friends, you don't do 15 puzzle.
The RNG's bad enough in this game, like why would you add a 1 in 6 to
exactly.
it? That's just asking for problems.
Never take more time to do things than you would otherwise do. That made sense, I promise.
I do a lot of like bingo races for other games and stuff like that, and like I have a running thing of just people always do like side content and other things. I'm like, if it's not a square, I'm not doing it. Like if it's not one of my direct objectives, I'm not going to do it. And that's what it feels like in this. It's like, why would I do this 1 in 6 when I can just run through the cave?
Yeah, pretty much. Got a, must have been, oh, I missed it. There must have been a high five there at some point. So there's a high five coming out the cave. One runner going one way, one going the other.
So Scythe has a bit of a lead here, but I don't think it's actually that much right now.
It's not. No, it's probably about a minute and a half, something like that. And yeah, that's nothing in this game.
Yeah, you can easily drop like even not going with someone dies and gets set back to their last safety save. Even without that, you can easily lose like a good minute or 2 just in the final dungeon to unrunnable encounters.
Just a minute or 2. I have lost 6 to 7 to 8 minutes in Chaos Shrine. If it really wants to hate you. But that's a long way off. For now, we are just dealing with the joys of Cavern of Earth.
I was gonna say I wasn't talking deaths here. No white dragons or anything, but.
Okay. What about if you save at the beginning of the White Dragon's Fall and then you still die, and then you have to wipe and reset, and then you reset again because you die again? Does that count?
Pretty sure that's the worst case.
I was gonna say just asking for a friend, you know.
Just a hypothetical. If this ever happened to someone.
If it were to happen. And on Scythe's screen, we are seeing the first, I believe, use of actually using magic spells.
Not taking any risks. Yeah, this isn't even unrunnable. This is just.
It's not very runnable. On my route, I don't know about your route. Oh, that's a lovely one-step encounter there with cockatrices as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say on my route, I flee and cast there, and I think that's also what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Set 3 of your characters to flee, 1 of them to cast. That way, if your characters don't manage to flee, then you don't have to waste another turn.
Yeah, both the cockatrice and the wraith fights there are runnable, but just terrifying.
Also, not easy to run from.
No, and
it's pretty
a lot of
common
status.
to lose a turn there.
Yeah, tons of status, get locked down, and yeah, one lost turn there can just be death.
Yeah, paralysis is okay. You just lose control of your characters. It's usually survivable, just loses you a hell of a lot of time. However, petrify is like a KO. So if all of your characters get petrified, yeah, game over.
So one thing I haven't noticed, and I don't think either of them have we seen a safety save yet?
I haven't noticed one. Clearly we're getting competitive in it.
I was going to say, that is one of the start of the 3rd floor of Earth Cave is one of the potential safety saves. We absolutely, yeah, you always see one before Lich.
Unless you are really feeling like surrendering to the gods of RNG. And yeah, on Ray's screen, he just did a successful fleet. Refuses to save at B3, I see. It is a little bit of a time loss, especially if you are on console, which... Oh, I'm trying to look at the feeds here and take a guess. I'm not... I don't think Scythe is.
Scythe on console, Raid on emulator.
Oh, okay, I got that completely wrong way around. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer to save on console because of actually having to access the save files and everything.
Right.
There's your first save to save. There's your lovely Wraith encounter just before Lich. It's an interesting place to save as well, because you can actually run up to all the 4 Lords and Chaos. You can just run all the way up to them, and before you press X to engage them in dialogue, you're safe. So there's no reason not to safety save on the actual tile in front of them.
I always do it a tile away because I'm really worried that when I go to my menu to save, I'm going to hit the wrong button or something and accidentally start the fight. So I always do it 1 extra tile away.
Just a little bit of justifiable paranoia there, I think.
I've done it once in 1 game ever, and I got called out for it, and I was just ever since, it's just every time I'm at least 1 square away.
Oh, who hurt you, Yoshi? Who called you out?
My stream chat were yelling at me because I can't remember what game it was, but they were you keep doing this, stop doing it, and then the one time it backfired, they were we told you.
Curse you, chat! Always with the I told you so.
So there is about a minute between them right now. I think it's a little bit over a minute there.
Something like that. I think it's less than it was before Cavern.
Ray actually had quite a good Earth Cave, I think, there.
Yeah, it was good. And now Poorscythe has got back on his boat and has headed over to Crescent Lake, which is the site of our next shopping trip, I believe.
Yeah. Also, it's
So-
one tiny little thing to note here. Scythe's warrior is at 110. Ray's is at 7.
That's quite a difference.
Yeah, and that's really good for Ray because, like, wanting the warrior to you want the warrior and the thief to die here. So like, Ray might actually get that pretty reasonably. Scythe might have to spend a while running over spikes to take damage.
Or possibly, he might get a nice warrior one-shot, which does happen occasionally. So we're buying a couple more irrelevant items that we are going to glitch actual useful items off.
That axe. The axe there is pretty much the reason we have to use a warrior, right? Like that one and
Yep.
one later on, the light axe.
Pretty much.
The menuing is ridiculous.
On my screen, he's too fast for the sound to keep up with.
So it's worth noting the equips there are basically, we don't bother equipping the warrior because they're gonna die in a bit anyway. So why give them anything new? All the armors are a bit of an extra.
Slowest. Yeah, he's the slowest member of our team anyway, so he's not going to be the one that gets to run away from things.
All the armors are that extra little bit of an agility boost, and then the 2 mages were given lust daggers, which are, you know, just a decent weapon, like decent physical weapon, that also give an agility boost. So it makes the mages really, really fast. And that's important for a level grind coming up, which the run is optimized, can't cut out all the grinding, unfortunately. But this is just by far the best place to do it.
I'm surprised that both of the runners here, every time the boat docks, every time the boat docks, when it docks on those landing tiles there, you can't actually get an encounter on the tiles. And both of these runners are choosing to be very safe and park their boat early and then walk across the tiles so that they don't get encounters. Quite a bit slower, but
We saw Rhaego run by 1 step earlier and got the fight, so...
Yes, true. I mean, yeah, in an ideal world, it wouldn't be any slower to do it, but I'm surprised both of them are doing it.
The thing for me is, like, it's one of those things where I'll kind of mix and match. Like, I'll generally walk over the tiles, but every so often I'll just be like, whatever, I'll ride the boat forward. But as soon as you get 1 encounter from doing it, you're like, okay, that's it, always walk. And the next, like, 2-3 runs you do, you will walk every single time, because it burned you that once.
I'm more the kind of runner who just goes, whatever happens, and just kind of go for it. We haven't mentioned our lovely destination here that Scythe is now in. Welcome, friends, to the Cavern of Ice. Like the Cavern of Earth, but considerably colder.
Equally terrifying.
More terrifying, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
I've heard some people say that we're not really meant to be here. Like, it's not quite a sequence break, but I think we're meant to be heading to Marilith before this.
Right, yeah, the game kind of gives you, like, 1 thing for each area. And for Marilith, it's meant to be the canoe, and then to get to Kraken, it's meant to be the airship. But you can just take the canoe to get the airship and then take that to Marilith. So it's a little out of sequence, but...
Yeah, so we're very underleveled for here, very squishy. Just as well we can run from things, because there's no way in hell we can fight them. I say as Poorscythe fights them. But yeah, so this place is dangerous and scary, and that is why everyone is saving.
Also, the Piscademons? Piscademons? How do people pronounce that?
I just say Piscademons, I don't actually know.
Yeah. They're really annoying here, because they're still unrunnable. but the Lost Daggers being equipped means that the mages have lower intelligence, so Thundara doesn't kill them anymore. So you have to go back into your inventory and find those Judgment Staves that you've unequipped and are now buried somewhere in your item menu.
Is this one place where the item route actually is a little faster?
Yeah, this works out better on like pretty much every other route. Only if you get the fights, I guess. But
Biggs is down, just to kill Bannon now. Meanwhile, on Ray's screen, Biff is somehow holding on.
I was going to say, Ray's
2
getting,
HP.
Ray's getting like great encounter luck, which is good in a sense because like all the fights have been pretty reasonable, but it means those characters aren't dying.
Mm-hmm. More Piscademons. Woo!
To be fair, it isn't a massive problem if the characters don't die. There is a way in a little bit to kind of fix that, but it's nice.
Oh no!
Why is Ray? Okay.
It's just being safe. Just
Yep,
making sure, like, you can get attacked by white dragons here. You can get attacked by a dark wizard here. La la. I was about to come around to him, and he decided to appear on your screens. You can also get attacked by a mind flayer who can possibly paralyze your party and then one-shot them all to death if he so felt like it. So yeah, there's several ways to die from almost full HP in this cave.
Ray just auto-piloted into the run on an unrunnable there.
Ooh.
It always feels bad, but like again, everyone's done it countless times.
There we go. So what we want is for this dude to Thundara our party, because that does about 70 damage, 70, 75, 80, something like that. And with not having healed our warrior and our thief, that should take care of them, because we only want our mages alive, because we're going to do some grinding. This is a spike tile with a really powerful enemy on it. What was that, sorry?
Ray has really pulled this back quite a bit.
He really has. Got a very good run through the ice cavern, I think. Yep. Don't forget, chat, that we are all cheering for Ray here. Everybody hates Poorscythe. We don't like Poorscythe. He's currently winning. He's already won one race. We want Ray to win another race so we can have even more races. Also, everyone hates Poorscythe anyway, so, you know.
So this is one of the interesting things that you tend to see a little bit differently in different players do different things, where some runners go to level 17 and then do one extra fight. Some runners just go to level 18 and stop there, like usually that one extra fight to get there.
Again,
I feel like I'd mix and match based on whether I'm ahead or behind.
I was going to say what you were saying the other day, the other day, about 10 minutes ago. What you were saying about once it goes wrong for you, once you get burned and you never do it again. I used to do 17 and a half instead of 18, and then I got to trying to buy my spells, and I couldn't buy them, and I looked, and my white mage was 18, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know where to go, and I had no idea who I was meant to kill to get that EXP. It was a mess.
I've done the same thing. I had to kind of, again, like, oh god, panic, what's my route? And what I decided to do was go to Waterfall Cavern before the shrine, do the waterfall thing, then leave, and then go and buy the spells.
That was a very good idea. I didn't think of that. I just was like, whoa, where was the last place I was going? Marilith? And panicked and ran away to Marilith.
The race earlier, I did 3 dragon zombie encounters in Citadel because, I was underleveled.
Yeah. we just lose sound?
Scythe's music died on the overworld.
Yeah, interesting.
I
don't think I've seen that happen.
No.
It's a bit weird. Unless it was on his... it's gone again.
What?
Oh, Toku, tell us about audio glitch, because we are clearly only humble commentators who don't know what we're talking about.
I don't play on PSP. I'm an emulator person, so.
Please direct your attention, chat, to Tokuhiro, who is the GBA world record holder and knows things. I don't like it. It's so quiet.
It's so odd. Is it just a thing that I guess it's just occasionally the audio stops and then restarts and then stops and then restarts?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's just going to happen for the rest of the run now. And for the record, how did Ray catch up that much?
That was wild.
They're
yeah.
in the same cutscene.
Did Ray cut the level grind short? Oh, Ray would have had a shorter level grind. He got so many unrunnables.
Oh, true. Good point. Also, from the GBA world record holder, we have PSP has audio bugs. Sometimes they happen? Question mark. There you go. We've all been educated, enlightened, and we know things now. I think I'm just going to call you Mr. GBA world record holder now. Just because pressure, you know.
That was an interesting airship ride from Ray there.
What happened? I was busy bullying Toku.
He flew up from getting the airship.
Uh-huh. Oh, I do that sometimes when I forget where I'm going. It's a similar distance around the globe because FF1 has a globe because you can go either way.
I can't remember which race it was. I remember seeing someone open up the map in one of the races in groups, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot there was a map.
That might have been me. You know how I mentioned how I was only level 18 when I was trying to get Hilara?
Right.
And I didn't know where to go. So I only know this game from the context of the route that we do, so I didn't know how to get to Mount Gold.
I had a run the other day. It was one of the catch-up races for somebody who dropped out of the groups. And I'd accidentally, I don't know how, in my item menuing in the shops, where I meant to buy 40 potions, plus 40 ethers, plus 10 antidotes, plus 10 Phoenix Downs, I only got 10 ethers.
Yay!
So I just ran out completely, and I was like, where on earth do I go? How do I get there? What am I doing?
Yeah, this is the problem with FF1 PSP. It's an extremely easy run. And it's so easy to get into that you just don't really need to know anything about the game itself. You just do the run and it's chill, it's relaxing, you just kind of deal with the RNG. Anything goes wrong, it's faster to just abandon your run and do another one than to try and work out where else you're meant to go.
Like, it's worth noting, I would recommend this as like a really good beginner speedrun for anyone who like is looking for an RPG speedrun or whatever. I think this is a great game to like pick up and learn. And then you get into the RNG elements and you're just like slowly going mad at...
I mean, I ran FF9 before this, and I would describe this as FF9, but shorter.
Yeah. Also, that was interesting. Ray just equipped the Sage's Staff to the Black Mage.
Now, I can't remember what that does.
So the Lust Dagger was there, which is way higher damage and plus 10 agility, I think it is. The Sage's Staff gives an intelligence boost instead, so it means the Black Mage's magic is that little bit more powerful. But after the level grind with the Lust Dagger, you're normally good enough anyway.
Interesting. So, was that him trying to get a bit more magic, maybe?
I guess so. Also worth noting, Scythe is getting Dragon Zombie after Dragon Zombie here. Those are unrunnable, and Ray has got to the forced dragon zombie fight at the end.
Yep, that is an overtake.
Ray has taken the lead.
I just saw the dragon zombies on the Scythe screen and was like, oh, they must still be neck on neck. No. So Ray heading out of the Citadel of Trials, which we barely talked about because we were busy talking about how good a speedrun this is. Citadel of Trials is a quick run through, which basically there's just loads of teleporters, and then there's another floor, and then you're out. And the aim of getting through the Citadel of Trials is to get past the trials in the name of Citadel of Trials, and get a rat's tail at the end.
I was going to say, like, technically all of this is optional. Like, optional side quest that you don't have to do. But it powers up your characters enough that it's kind of worth it.
Mm. So we're taking the rat's tail that we got in a chest because apparently it's a great trophy. We're taking it to Bahamut, King of Dragons. Bahamut, however you say it. And he will power up our characters, make our warrior a knight, our thief a ninja, and our white mage and black mage, white wizard and black wizard. What does this do? Not that much, really. Enables us to use different weapons. Lets us learn more spells, I think.
Some stat boosts, I guess.
Some stat boosts. It's worth it, basically. Also makes us really swag. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. GBA World Record Holder.
I was going to say, the warrior just gets a cape. Like, wearing exactly the same stuff, but just gets a cape. The thief, on the other hand, is just like complete overhaul.
I believe the warrior is also wearing a little crown thing. I could be wrong.
Pretty little tiara.
Yeah, it's got a little tiara thing. He's fabulous.
Meanwhile, the white mage just like pulls down her hood and that's it.
Yeah. She's like, I've got beautiful hair. I went and got a cut and blow dry.
Oh, so that's interesting. Ray just had to sell the lust dagger. So,
oh dear.
Because of unequipping it there, I imagine it interferes with some of the menuing later on.
Of course. I don't recognise this route. Is this the Raeanus route?
This is how I've seen it at least. You buy your fairy bottle and your giant tonics. Then you
I mean with the selling the lust dagger.
Oh, the lust dagger stuff. Apparently it's for Chaos Shrine. Apparently, some of the in one of his previous races, the Black Mage wasn't killing things in Chaos Shrine, so he equips the Sage's staff to make sure that the Black Mage.
Gotcha.
Which is interesting. Like that must be a high-low roll thing. I think I've had it once where the Black Mage was failing to kill. It was like Ice Gigas Winter Wolf encounters, and it was killing the wolves but not the Gigas. But that's, I mean, pretty easily solved with a punch to the face.
Yep. Most things in this game pretty easily solved with a punch to the face. And meanwhile, so Poorscythe has just rescued a fairy, and Ray is just heading into a volcano.
Mountain is like my favourite thing in this run, just because it is the best speedrun tech.
It is, it's pretty good.
So
it's actually quite difficult to do well, as well.
Doing the optimal, this floor, the one that Ray is on now, is a nightmare.
Yeah, I've never worked out the optimal route here. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, because we haven't bothered explaining it because we're bad commentators, what the runners are trying to do here is keep to the lava tiles as much as possible. They do damage to your characters every time you step on them, but you can't get encounters. So basically what happens is that you end up at the end of the Mount Golg with no health on any of your characters, but really fast. And that is what we like to be in speedruns.
Oh, Ray got ambushed. Early enough
Got
that
ambushed,
there's some
but
health.
he didn't get ambushed by anything that can AoE him, which is nice. Yeah, as I was about to say before Ray went and demonstrated it, there's quite a lot of fire creatures here that can cast fire AoEs. So when your whole party has 1 HP, or so like 3 HP between them, you don't want to get smacked by a firer to the face. It's very, very scary. You will probably die. And yeah, there's really not much you can do about it.
Also, he finally picks up that knight now. And they are neck and neck. Jeez.
Well, neck and neck except for the Minosaurs who felt like coming in there. They're like, we heard that Yoshi said that they were neck and neck. My favourite part of commentating is having the power of commentator's curse. It's beautiful.
So what are we praying for next? So actually, I kept talking about iron golems, because in my group races, in my first 6 races, I found 3 iron golems.
What?
Which I've never seen outside of races. I've never seen them in anything else
What?
ever. But I got 3 in my first 6 races. I got them in both races against Soma. That was fun.
That's crazy.
So that's apparently my thing now, which means that at least one of them has to now find an iron golem, right? That's how it works.
Yes. Yes, that's how it works.
Does that mean one of them also...
I've never seen an iron golem. I'm so jealous right now. Can't you share your iron golems around a bit?
It lost me
You're
a
so
race!
greedy. I don't care. He's awesome. I've never seen him.
I will not trade you your white dragons.
What about blue dragons? I've had several of those. Do you want to swap a blue dragon for an iron golem?
Fight without those either. Oh, so just going to be attacked here, playing it safe.
What about Warmech? I've had a couple of those too.
Oh.
Oh, I take your iron golem and I raise you Warmech.
No, I'll pass on that one. Also, Ray's ninja did not get haste there.
Oh, it's not good.
It's like, that's just one of those weird things that, like, when it happens, you're like, oh great, I've got haste. And when it doesn't happen, you're like, whatever. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that I don't bother with because, again, it's just RNG. You can't really control it. Mm-hmm. It saves you, what, like, maybe 2 seconds? Possibly?
It means you get, like, 1 extra attack with the ninja, I think, specifically. Oh no, it would be 1 extra attack with a... Black Mage?
Yeah, do you really want that anyway? Yeah, so we've completely neglected the stream again. What's happening here? We are shopping. This is the reason that we went and grinded on the Evil Eye earlier. Everybody needs to be level 19. When I say everybody, I mean the mages, so that we can get just a few useful spells. Healing spell for the last fight, when we will need lots of heals. We have haste, which is going to buff up our damage dealers. And we have teleport, which helps us get around dungeons a bit faster.
Actually, one of the really interesting things for teleport, I didn't realise this until recently. Poorscythe was actually the one who told me about this, like, slight optimization here. Sunken Shrine is really good for teleport, because you have to go and get the Rosetta Stone on the 5th floor, is it? I think you start on the 3rd floor, you go up to the 5th, and then down to the 1st.
Something like that?
And you pick up a light axe along the way, and you can pick that up in a couple of different places. It's actually best to go up to the 5th floor, then teleport back to the 4th, pick up the light axe there, and then teleport back down to the 3rd.
Is this something that we are going to see in Poorscythe Shrine in a minute?
Also, Sunken Shrine encounters are the actual worst thing, because there are 3 unrunnable encounters, and each one uses a different spell.
Though, they do all use a spell, which is quite nice for menuing. You don't have to, like, switch some of your characters from defending to attacking and go through your mages, cast spells, looking for whatever it is that you need. It's just kind of, you know, most of your characters stay the same. Your black mage, or in my case, your white mage, does the casting. But you do have to remember which group of enemies does which thing.
Yeah, I feel like one of the easiest ways to lose time in Sunken Shrine is just having to switch your magic around so much and like forgetting what your last encounter was and autopiloting into the wrong spells or things like that, or just getting too many unrunnables, of course.
Yep. And obviously, if you get ambushed by any one of these groups with 9 enemies or whatever it is, it's not going to be fun. You're not going to have a good time. Ray just picked up the Rosetta Stone, which is, as it sounds, a translation for a certain language that we are going to need later. Don't ask questions about why it's under the sea.
Or why you can learn the language in like 3 nights.
Yes! Magic hand gestures that teach languages.
So it looks like Ray's picking up the 2F light axe.
Yeah, he looks like he's using the one that I'm familiar with.
Let's see where Scythe goes here. Yeah, Scythe, yeah, off to the 4F one instead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this will be an education for me.
That one-step encounter.
It's almost like a slap in the face, isn't it? When this game's like, you thought you were going somewhere. You're not. Ha ha. So they're both going to be picking up about the same time.
So it's worth noting, the one that Ray goes for here, you have to move to the right of this chest, because they put an enemy encounter, like the forced encounter tiles, on the bottom and the left of that chest, but not the right for some reason. Doesn't make any sense to me, but, you know, we've already spoken about how obviously well-coded FF1 is.
I guess it's just that, say you couldn't get past that fight and you had to reload, then you could try another direction, and then you could definitely get through it, right? Right?
Like, I'm guessing it's like just an oversight because they thought, I don't know, that maybe it was just like close enough to the wall that they just thought the chest was in the corner and didn't think you could get to the right of it or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or it was just some lucky person who goes around chests for fun will get rewarded. So both of them now heading out. Ray's a little bit ahead still.
Scythe's encounters in here have they've been something. Like, mostly runnable now, but...
Yeah, it's usually the first couple of floors that are the really nasty ones for unrunnables. Oh,
single
Ray
water.
with the water elemental?
The one attack encounter you get.
But that's okay, because he's on his way to Kraken anyway, so...
This is exactly where you want to
just an early fight menu.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh, nice.
God, if that had been like 3 or 4 water elementals there, that would have been... It's the kind of thing that just like puts you on tilt.
Yep. And Scythe now on the Kraken floor as well. So these runners are still probably about 30 seconds apart. Nothing big.
So it was a Kraken kill at 104.16, I think, there, for the white flash.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, we haven't really touched on where we said about skipping over Echelon plot. But every time you beat a boss, a little side dungeon opens up. We don't do those. They're, I think, PSP exclusive. I don't know if those ones are in the other versions.
I believe the GBA, it's in the GBA. However, the last one, the Labyrinth of Time, I believe is PSP exclusive.
Right. Okay, it's just the Chaos Shrine one. Okay. But yeah, none of those matter. No.
Yeah, the sword we've been using the whole way through is actually a drop from the last optional dungeon. That's being the last super boss of the last optional dungeon. But we don't need to do that because we can just press 2 buttons at once.
So I think it was about a 25 to 30 second difference beating Kraken. But that encounter on the way out after Kraken won't help. And into the waterfall cavern to find an old robot and a ribbon. This place is like one of the most infuriating for encounters.
Yeah, it's got the highest encounter rate in the game. Luckily, they are all runnable at this point. Nightmares sometimes can be a bit of a challenge to run from, but they are runnable. But yeah.
Can you get green dragons?
Green dragons, yes. They're very rare though.
I got one earlier.
Of course you did. So basically, we can't hear either of the runners right now, but even if we could, we won't be able to play what they're saying, because this is a PG-13 stream.
Right, like, the thing I was going to say with Waterfall Cavern is, like, in a weird way, getting the green dragon is almost better than some of the other encounters, because nightmares can be really difficult to run away from.
Yeah, they can be a pain.
I thought you were going to say they can be a nightmare. I really thought you were going to say it.
No, I'm sorry, I missed that opportunity.
It's actually, like, crazy to me, though. Like, the further you get into the run, it feels like the more the RNG just kind of ramps up as you go. Like, the early game, it's, like, so tight on execution. It's, like, how good is your menuing? How good is your movement? Did you hit all the levels you needed to hit and all of that? And once you get to the end, it's like, how many Minotaur zombies did you find on the way to the Fenrir? Like,
I would disagree, actually. I think that there's quite a lot of, particularly in the last dungeon, there's quite a lot of execution stuff because of all the changing of battle menus and stuff. It does feel like it, though, because the tension ramps up towards the end of the run.
That's fair, yeah. I guess a lot of the RNG that I'm talking about as well is stuff that you still have to deal with either way, but it can at least be kind of, like, mitigated a little bit with good execution.
I mean, I'm okay with encounters that you know are or are not runnable. It's when you get encounters like in the early game when you get the Wargwolves.
Oh.
And you can run from them, but you can also just be stuck there for 3 turns, not able to run from them, while they all attack you and eat your time. So I prefer ones where I know what I have to do. I see Sahagin princes and chiefs. I use gauntlets. I know what to do. But I think that might just be I like not having to think too much.
Ray has lost Melman.
There it is! You found it! So Ray is just about to use his Rosetta Stone that he found under the sea and learn a language. We are forever amazed at... You can't see it very well from this angle, but what he's doing is a little hand gesture there. He like jumps and waves about 3 times, and then he's learnt a language. It's beautiful. If only it worked like that in real life.
It's also really infuriating to learn that, because when, like, I don't know if everyone does this, or maybe it was just me being bad, but, like, starting off, there's no audio cue or anything for when that cutscene is done.
Yeah.
And so if you just sit there mashing text, you will just talk to him over and over again, and he'll be like, you can now speak Lithenian. You can still speak Lithenian.
Oh, no. I happen to know his last dialogue line off by heart because I have spent so long spamming it. Return the crystals to Grace. Return the crystals to Grace. Return the crystals to Grace. And then about 10 seconds later, you just kind of slowly come to realise that you've gone into a button-mashing trance. And, then wasted 10 seconds of your run. Also, welcome to the Walk to Lufania, guys. Lufania, I'm never really sure which it is. So, both of our runners have already encountered the unrunnable encounter here, which is Minotaur zombies. They can come with various different enemies, and if you see even one of them, you can't run. You can get no Minotaur zombie encounters on the way to Lufania and back, or you can get about 12.
Ray didn't get blocked.
Yay!
The Lufenians here are a nightmare for just blocking that path, and you just have to kind of.
We talked about the brooms earlier, right?
Oh yeah.
And how annoying the brooms are. The Lufenian priestesses are like brooms, but really cute in really lovely gowns, and they will look at you and go, "Oh, sorry, did you need to get past me?" and then move one tile. And then just perfect innocent face. "Oh, I didn't realise you still need to get past me. Oh, I'm so sorry." Is that Scythe overtaking the... Oh, no. Oh, they're pretty close. This is such a close race. Race?
Ooh, Ray maximizing the canoe movement there. Perfect. Like, reason why. None of the encounters in the canoe are unrunnable. So, like, going into that little pond for a little bit, for as long as you can.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect.
Also,
Scythe gets an encounter on each tile either side.
I think your encounter rate is considerably lower in the canoe as well.
Right.
So yeah, you see that little parking space that Scythe just landed in? That's the only way to get into the desert. You see that one little spot. You have to park your airship there, or you can't get there at all. It's just kind of FF1 in a nutshell, really.
Fly to this arbitrary spot in the middle of nowhere and then walk half the map to get to where you actually want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also worth noting the Hellhounds here. Everything we were saying earlier about Hellhounds and Ogre Mages don't appear here. So if you see Hellhounds here, you can always run from them. Blue Dragons, on the other hand.
Blue Dragons are beautiful creatures. I don't know why you would have anything against them. Ray getting a slightly better Mirage Tower here. That is not the Blue Dragon we were talking about. That is the Spike Tower Blue Dragon, which you have to do to pass into the Flying Fortress.
Right, yeah, that one's the reason that all the others are unrunnable.
Oh yeah, never thought of that.
Also, Cockatrice no longer a threat either, because, like, 3 of our characters have ribbons. The status doesn't do anything anymore.
Also, there's no way they're going to get an attack off anyway, even if they tried. So guys, we'll start talking about this early so that we can get the hype up in chat. Who here would like to see another war mech? Because Poorscythe already found one in his last race and he butchered it brutally like a horrible, horrible man. So hopefully we can see another war mech and like just say hi and then, you know, just let it go.
We'll see it on side, right? That's what we're saying.
Definitely,
so,
yeah.
Ambush. Perfect.
I mean, like, if you let the war mech go rather than kill it, does it breed and produce more war mechs?
Don't know if that's how robots work.
What, if a mummy robot and a daddy robot really love each other, they don't produce another robot? Is that what you're saying?
I just like the idea that it's coming back for revenge. He murdered one last time, so there's just one coming back like, you killed my brother.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. If Poorscythe gets a Warmark here, we have to call it Inigo.
So good.
Ray has made it to part 1 of the Warmax stop with no Warmax.
Scythe is safety saving.
Oh, I'm not seeing any. Oh! Damn it. I was genuinely excited there.
Oh, though this is actually... That is the only
It's not the
status...
best encounter to get there.
Got away safely. It's the only status that gets through the ribbon, though. That is,
Yeah. Meanwhile, while we got excited about the not Warmack, Ray has finished off Tiamat, who is the last of the 4 lords. I don't know, do I mean lords? 4 fiends. Fiends. 4 lords are something in FF4, right? My bad. There's
the
4 of
translation I say
all
calls them
things.
fiends, so...
Oh yeah, Warmack can be unkind. He was kind to Poorscythe, and Poorscythe took advantage of his kindness to butcher him. Fiend! Yes, that. Exactly that. So, one more chance for Warmack.
I missed the times on the Tiamat kill, so I'm going to try and...
Oh, I don't know. 116 something? Is that helpful? They're close enough together that the times don't matter, basically.
Yeah, Chaos Shrine will change everything.
Oh, no Warmack for Ray.
Scythe can still get one. There's still hope.
Imagine if he went into the encounter and we were like, oh, is it a Warmack? And then there were just like 5 Warmacks, like, we've come to get revenge for our lost sibling.
Should just be a bonus thing. There's the no encounter version of this for practicing and stuff. This should just be a thing in that way. You just have a like 1 in whatever chance of when you take a step, you just get an encounter with like 4 Warmacks.
Yeah, and one
No
of them
other
is
encounters in the
one of them
entire
is
round.
Daddy Warmack. So we talked about the Labyrinth of Time dungeon earlier. Ray just opened that. That was the cutscene you just saw there. And you're about to see for Poorscythe as well, because they are about 20 seconds apart. We won't be doing that. We'll just be using the Barbarian Sword that we glitched. But we do have to sit through the cutscene again.
Also, I forgot to check the time on the way out of Mirage Tower, but it was about 25 seconds at the end of that cutscene.
They're very close together, basically.
Yeah, you can easily gain or lose a few minutes in
Yeah, I
Chaos
believe
Shrine.
Ray was 1:17:55 when he stepped onto the thing. So, about 20 seconds. And now let's watch it all fall apart.
The first unrunnable of many.
I don't know what you mean, Moth. What could possibly be wrong with Big Daddy Warmack?
Oh!
Poorscythe's starting strong!
Oh, we got an ice storm! So white dragons are runnable, apparently.
They are.
Okay.
However, they are very fast, therefore they can get in up to 4 ice storms before you manage to even try to run away from them.
Scythe didn't heal after that.
Yeah, I think
Took an
he's
ice
he's going hard. Oh jeez.
Took an ice storm to Faraga to the face and...
Faraga to the face. Everyone's still alive somehow.
Gonna...
Now he's gonna heal. Meanwhile, Ray getting a fairly easy trip to Death Eye. And Poorscythe gets Green Dragons too. Yeah, so anyone who hasn't watched this run before, You can get a beautiful run through Chaos Shrine where you barely have to kill anything. You can run away from everything first try. Or you can get what Poorscythe is getting right now, which is every single encounter you get is unrunnable, you have to kill them each, and you get a million ambushes of things that do AoEs and try to kill your entire party.
Right, like one of the things saying earlier about like this is a really good run for new people to pick up, it's a really beginner friendly run. Honestly, the hardest thing to learn in this run, or I guess the hardest two things, are your equipment menus, and then you just have them written down to one side, and which encounters can you run from and which ones can't you? Because for like every other dungeon, it's like, there's like 1 or 2 encounters you can't run from, and then suddenly in Chaos Shrine there's like 20.
Yeah, if you see a dragon, you're kind of screwed. If you see, what else is there? An elemental.
Yeah.
You're kind of, a bit. The purple worms aren't good.
Purple worms, iron golem. Probably won't see
Which
iron golems.
Nobody sees other than you, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ice Gigas and Winterwolf. Thank you, Ray,
Yeah.
for the reminder. These guys also have like some of the highest HP, so you will have to use your judgment staff here.
Oh, interesting. He equipped the Sager Staff earlier, I thought, to make these killable.
He just did 660 damage to those Gigases. I think that's a little bit overkill.
Just lost the lead.
He had to do quite a lot of menuing for those that Ice Gigas. However, this floor, second attack of the White Dragons.
Well, that's pretty much the exact encounter you want to see, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And only the one, jeez.
Wow. So, Scythe getting very lucky there. In my experience, iron golems are actually rarer than warmer. But you'd have to talk to my co-commentator about that one, because apparently he's hoarded all the iron golems.
So...
I've had about 5 Warmechs over my entire running career, I think.
So it's interesting to note here, Ray just took the safety save on this floor before the White Dragons.
I do that as well when I'm not feeling risky.
But I don't know if I would do that if I knew I was behind.
He probably doesn't know he's behind, to be fair. He was ahead, what, half a minute ago? I'm not very good at this minutes and hours thing, and yeah, I occasionally get the wrong one.
I never know, I never know whether people are watching the streams or if they're just looking at the splits in races.
Yeah.
I tend to not watch the streams because I know it'll tilt me. If I see someone getting better RNG than me, I go mad.
Also, I just get distracted, so I will never watch the stream. I occasionally look at it in the cutscenes and stuff, but no, it's very much a runner choice thing, whether you... Oh, that's not what you want on Lich.
Survived it, but...
Survived it!
Barely.
He's got his squishy characters down, which means they won't get the bit of XP here that they need.
Right, Ray apparently does not watch streams, so that makes sense.
So Ray's just going, as fast as he can, not realising that he might need to go faster than that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I know there were a couple of races before, I know I was in one of them, where people chose not to safety save for Lich and Chaos because they were behind, but it was close enough that they could make it back.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if Ray takes...
and the double flare! But his... Whoa, I've just noticed how beefy his black mage is. Look at that thing.
Jeez. More HP than the ninja who dies.
Luke. Meanwhile, Wedge, not too shabby. Could be worse. Scythe's Black Mage and Thief. Both very squishy.
You can definitely still see this come down to the wire on Chaos.
Yeah. It always can't it? Especially with that that squishy Black Mage. That can sometimes be a problem.
Right, if Scythe just eats like a turn 1 punch on the one character, or Cyclone or Tsunami into Cyclone or something.
Yep.
That was a really good Kraken floor though for Scythe.
It was, yeah. Just the one unrunnable is always nice. So Kraken is a pushover in both of these fights. His one interesting attack that he can do doesn't actually affect us at all because of the... I think it's because of bad programming. The ink doesn't actually do anything.
Is it the ribbons or?
I don't believe that blind does anything on the PSP version.
Oh, fair enough. The good old FF6 style glitch.
We put this in the game so that you can have cool sunglasses on.
Oh, okay, so apparently it's just, yeah, an accuracy drop, but not enough of one to care.
Especially when we're this overgeared. And that is the last of the 4 Fiend refights down on Poorscythe's side.
Scythe's building up quite a hell of a lead here, like... Marilith and, I think Lich and Marilith fell at about the same time. Marilith and Kraken fell at about the same time. But now we see Tiamat go down and Ray is still making his way to Kraken.
With Poorscythe's great menus here as well, it's going to be a bit difficult for Ray to catch up. There's that safety save.
I know I was definitely surprised to see no iron golems. I didn't know that could happen in a run.
What, not having any iron golems?
Yeah,
But what do you get if you don't get iron golems?
what's the weird encounter on? Is it green dragons and vampire lords that you can run from?
I don't believe I have any vampire lords. Or maybe
There's an encounter. It's like it's a dragon that's unrunnable normally, but if it shows up with vampire lords, you can run away.
Oh, the zombie one, I think.
Oh, is it dragon zombie? Okay, that makes sense.
What's ETA? About 2.5 minutes from now. Oh, yeah, about 5 minutes, possibly. Ray needs to hope for Bastard Chaos. Well, good start.
I think Scythe's just about got away with this now, with the giant comics into the heel.
Especially with Tiamat not being nice over there.
Most of Chaos kind of hinges on that first turn. If that first turn plays kind, you're probably okay.
I mean, if it was a really neck-and-neck race and they'd both gone into Chaos at the same time, then it gets interesting, because Chaos can do really long spell casts, like he seems... No, or he can do really quick punches, like that one. It's possible to get a Chaos fight that's all physicals. It's also possible to get a Chaos fight that is all really long non-elemental casts.
Long golems. Damn it.
No one sees them other than you. I keep trying to tell you. So, yep. Poorscythe is now in hold X to win territory. He's got 3 of his characters buffed up and attacking with barbarian swords. And his white mage is just on the superpowered heals. Because we don't know at the beginning of each turn what Chaos is going to use, we get her to heal at the end of every turn. So we've taken off all her agility clothing so that she always goes at the end of the turn. And heals up about 250 on each character.
And there we go.
There is a very respectable 128.54 for Poorscythe. And unfortunately, that means that Ray has been knocked out of the tournament. Ray's doing a great run, though. You should definitely be proud of it.
Like, I'm just looking at some of the stats we've got for the tournament going so far, and I'm pretty sure with my run earlier and Scythe's run here, that means the top 10 races in this tournament now are all 128 or better.
Nice.
There are no 129s left in the top 10. And Ray is... This race is almost certainly going to make it into the top 10 fastest losing runs. Like, comfortably.
So Ray has also survived turn 1. I believe he's risking that 270 on your ninja, which is a bit risky. Good luck getting into the booth without another unrunnable. Yep, let's hope that Poorscythe does not get delayed by any more green dragons. Oh, yeah, that's why I was saying skipping the Giant's Tonic on your Thief. Anything under about 290 is quite dangerous.
There's only 7 damage over as well. It's 278.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised he did that. He probably didn't know that he was losing at that point. But it's going to be a bit of a slow kill now because our main damage dealer is down. You can go for the revive, but depending on turn order and what Chaos chooses to do next, it can be a bit of a losing game trying to revive a dead character up to 1 HP and get a heal off before he does more damage.
I guess he knew he was behind going into this, right?
Yeah.
I think he was.
Oh, I'm not sure he did.
He was behind at Lich, at least.
Also, yeah, can we please get a round of applause in chat for Luke, who is the new Banzai? Look at that black mage. Look at him. He's been going to leg day, arm day, magic day. That is a beefy black mage. Hat day. Yep. That's one hell of a hat right there.
That, I'm pretty sure, is a PB for Ray.
That is a great run. Good job. Good way to finish strong. And great runs from both of our runners. Really close race. So much fun to watch.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken there, I think Ray started this tournament with a PB and finished this tournament with a PB.
Wow, that is awesome. I think our runners are going to join us for a little post-run interview. Haven't done this interview thing for a while. There we go. There is our first one. Hi, Poorscythe.
Hello.
Congrats.
How did you do? Congrats.
Dude, I want to give a huge shout out to Ray.
He did great.
He did fantastic and had a lead on me for a large portion of this. Considering my experience advantage over him,
Yeah,
that was
he
really,
was ahead
really
of you.
impressive.
He was ahead of you for quite a lot of that run.
I kept trying to catch up and it wouldn't let me.
Yeah, FF1 being FF1.
So
But,
I'm really happy. I'm pretty sure that was a PB for him, so I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, that's great. And that's you through to the next round of the tournament?
Yeah. I really had to work for that.
I was going to say, you meant to sound more happy here.
I'm relieved more than that. I mean, he put up a hell of a fight in both
yeah,
races.
he really did.
Way more than I was expecting out of him, so I'm really impressed by how well he was handling it. And I'm very happy that he ended up with a PB on this race.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt earlier when Yoshi did the crazy PB. I was like, okay, my run was terrible, but you know, we're a community. It's great when your opponent does really well as well.
Mm-hmm. So have you got any thoughts on your upcoming next match? Anyone you'd rather face, or anyone you like?
Well, I have.
thoughts on-
I don't know. It looks like a crash course with Cruel, but that's not finalized yet. So we'll see what happens.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a bit of an early matchup there.
That should be a really good head-to-head matchup, though, and it's going to be a tough fight, just like this was.
Yep.
I hope Ray comes in here. Sounds like he's coming.
What was that, sorry?
I think he's coming into the chat
Right.
in a second.
Yeah. It's probably a little bit of a shock, having done that good a run and then being like, oh, PB and loss.
I guess he
and
wasn't
amazing
watching.
run.
It sounds like he
Yeah.
wasn't watching the run, but if he was, I think he would have been very happy with how that went.
Yeah.
Right, he was ahead from like.
Or Citadel.
Yeah, he took the lead in Citadel and held it until Chaos Shrine. Which
Yeah, I
is...
kept trying to claw it back, and I was doing everything I could, but every time I would get any time made up, I'd get an ambush.
Yep, sounds like FF1. While we're waiting for Ray, we should probably do standard commentator thing and say thank you so much, Speed Gaming. You have been wonderful hosting this great race, and thanks, chat. You guys have been really involved as well. Shout outs to the runners. Please do follow them. They're both very good runners.
And also, yeah, I was just going to say about the races that I was going to say tomorrow, but it's today here. But
Yeah. To those of you who sleep, it's probably today.
So 9 p.m. Eastern is the first of 2 tomorrow. We've got our second tomorrow as well, after an hour and a half later than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like perfect timing. Finish one, roll right into the next. So yeah, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, Boxmeister versus Sorely Wrath. And then
Then round 2.
Round 2.
So I didn't get to see what happened in your race earlier, guys.
Everything happened. I wiped to Mind Flayers in Citadel, and then I went back to Ice Cavern, and then I saw 2 white dragons on the way out of Ice Cavern, and then I got earthquaked on my way to Citadel, and I got earthquaked on my way back from Citadel, and then I wiped to Hellhounds in Mount Golg.
Whereas I got the stone nuts and PB
Yeah, whereas
by like
she was like, you know what,
35
I'll go for
seconds or
world
something.
record, why not?
Yeah, I got a 126.41, which is just like it was a 34-second PB.
It was pretty nice. Are they making all pairs of opponents narrate a match? No, we just happened to feel like doing that. Maybe we should. Poorscythe, there's a suggestion from chat. Should we just force people to commentate with their opponents?
Cruel would do that.
Oh, and we've got Ray in here. GG, congrats on was that a PB? We think it was?
It was a PB.
Great job, that was
Congrats.
fantastic.
Thank you. It was probably the best I've played the game. I was really close to a sub 130, and then Chaos Shrine happened.
Yeah. Yeah, you were ahead of Poorscythe for quite a lot of it as well.
Yeah, dude, Ray. Nice job. Seriously, I mean, like, I don't know. I wish you could have watched that back at the same time, but I think you had a solid lead on me from Citadel all the way until about Lich 2. So almost half the run.
I felt really good about it, but the Chaos Shrine was where I started watching time bleed.
Yeah, it always is.
Mhm.
You did
But
the
I'm
best
still-
you could.
I'm still really happy with it. Getting lost 3 times in the airship and trying to run away from Pisco demons a couple times.
Yeah, we tried to kind of gloss over that part. It wasn't getting lost in the world map. It was going for a tour.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that the Warriors of Light got their money's worth on the tour.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point in having an airship if you don't, take it out for nice moonlit drives around the world?
Exactly.
Everybody likes that theme anyway.
Also, we were absolutely unbiased commentators the whole way through. We were rooting for you, Ray.
I appreciate it.
We may have been chanting to get Scythe and Warmax.
I was trying so hard to. I'm super glad I got a PB, but when I saw that my current pace was a sub 130, I was really hoping for that. That would have made.
Yeah.
It would have totally made my day.
You're so close. Just do a few more runs. You'll definitely get one. Absolutely.
I don't know about that. Final Fantasy 1's a really hard game to just PB grind on.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like demoralizing, but if you just keep at it, you will get there in the end.
I was going to say, I said earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm pretty sure your first race in this tournament was also a PB, right?
It was. I think I've PB'd now 5 times in the tournament.
Woo!
That
Nice
is
job.
insane.
Yeah, you are definitely up for another PB. Just keep trying, mate. Keep trying.
If half your races have been PBs, you can definitely get a couple more in there.
Follow that upward trajectory. You can do it. Or downward trajectory, if the time is going down. I don't know. Have we mentioned it's 4 a.m. here?
Well, you all are pretty lucid for 4 a.m. there.
I'm good at it, honest. Totally, yep. With that, is there any shout-outs you guys want to make? Anyone you want to thank? Anything?
Shoutouts to Ray for sub 130 pace at least. And shoutouts to ambushes.
Shout-outs to Green Dragons!
Oh yeah, was it? I got 2 dragon zombies in a row in Citadel.
Yeah, oh yeah, we enjoyed that.
I got that. I kept
thinking
remember I
you
also
were on the
got-
spike tile, and I was like, oh, still not the spike tile. Still not the spike tile.
Oh, I also got 2 post-fiend encounters. I got one in after Marilith, and I got one after Kraken before getting to the teleporter.
Yeah.
That was so annoying.
Right, whereas Ray, on the other hand, you got 2 pre-fiend encounters. You saved a few steps away from Lich and then got a fight between the same
Yep.
and Lich, and then got a fight on the tile in front of Kraken.
So it's kind of like we sandwiched it.
Yeah. Yeah, my brain just definitely dived into the gutter there. Anyway.
I was not going to comment.
Well, for me, I guess the shout-outs I would do is, thank you to the Final Fantasy 1 community, to Poorscythe and Double for taking the time to organize this tournament. I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen this year, but grateful that you guys put in the time to organize this and get this thing going. Thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting. I know we've had a lot of races that were kind of last minute, but they have really done a lot to try and accommodate us, so thank you all. And then to the audience at large, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you watched and would like to give Final Fantasy 1 a try, I'm sure someone can spam the Discord link. Jump into Discord. It's actually, as far as JRPG speed runs are concerned, it's a fairly easy one to learn. It takes a while to master, and you just have to endure the RNG.
Ditto.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess what commands here and failing.
Okay. Well, you should probably go to bed, kid. And
Yeah, that's a great idea. I will do that.
Thank you guys for commentating, though. I know it's been
It was
a
good.
little
It was
tough for
fun.
us to source some commentators for this tournament, so all the help's appreciated when we get some.
This was an absolutely great race to commentate. I'm glad we were here for it.
But yeah, with that, we're probably going to head out. Thanks everyone for watching, and good night.